So Marquee pinged me and said that he reacted to my freighter hauling video. And you know that Marquee is where we get our code from. And he pinged me and said that he was a little bit harsh with his review. So of course, I have to see what he says and how he likes our advanced hauling video. So let's see what the guy who gives me my affiliate code says about my fit. Let's see.
Alrighty.
A little low. I'll turn it up.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done before.
Okay.
Or at least it's been so long that I don't remember I've ever done it before. Loru, who I absolutely love.
Oh, man.
And he's the inspiration for the Eve Enjoyer song. He's got a video where he says that multi-boxing ensures invincible freighter hauling.
It does.
And I mean, you all know what I'm gonna say, right? What's the right ship and the right fit?
Obelisk bulkheads.
I'm sure you all know it. You can put it in chat. You already know what I'm gonna say. And so let's take a look at this video and see what is going on with Loru. Yeah.
Please help. We have improved the safest way to fly.
So, and while we do this, I want to help there be positive discourse in the Eve sphere. Do y'all understand that this kind of content doesn't happen? Where I share a fit and a guide, and then someone who knows more than me, he knows more about hauling freighters than me. This is his bread and butter. Okay. You're right. It's like exception. This kind of reactception doesn't happen. I am so happy to be one of the first people to be able to do this for the Eve community, for New Eden at large, and help you. Because while Marquee and I, it sounds like he disagrees with some of the stuff. Good. Who benefits? You do. Okay. The more discussion, in a healthy way, of course, happens, the better off you are. Let's see. Let's see.
Around New Eden in your freighter, hauling all your big items and ensuring billions get to market A-OK. And by the end of this video, you're going to be able to call yourself an advanced hauler inside of EVE Online. So if you want the best EVE Online guides, you came to the right place.
Oh, I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now. And some potato.
He says he's an Eve enjoyer. I mean, I kind of expected it, and I gotta say that anytime I
listen, if you, I'm gonna play it. Have you? He like made a song about our stream meme. It's awesome. It's really cool. We're gonna watch it in like just a sec. It's really sick, but it's like old timey. You're gonna like it.
I hear it, I think of this song.
It's like BioShock, you know? That's kind of how I feel about, or Fallout, right? Yeah. Is he gonna play the whole thing right now? Oh my God, it's a 43-minute video. Buckle in, y'all. Go get a drink. It's a 43-minute video. Here we go, dude. My original video is 15 minutes long. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so we'll
okay,
come
thank
back
God.
to
Yes.
that because I do feel like he at least
We love
gets
the song.
the respect of that song is awesome and he's an Eve enjoyer.
It's
All right,
really cool
so
you made the song.
Let's see here. He's got an avalanche.
Before we get to this meat. This guide is not for beginner freighter haulers, and flying freighters incorrectly will literally risk you losing years of work potentially. As always, y'all, you are never safe.
117
and
billion.
you have been warned. With that said, let's dive in, huh? And luck favors the prepared, everybody.
All right, so I do see that it's a little bit off. Here, let me try refreshing this and see what happens.
Is it off?
Well, we've done it, y'all, with the community's help. We have... It is not for beginner freighter haulers.
Oh, it is.
And flying freighters incorrectly
On his side,
will
not
literally
mine,
risk
right?
you losing years of work potentially. As always, y'all,
You are never safe in
I don't know why
Eve.
and
it's
you have
a
been
little off,
warned.
but maybe it's the
That
video.
said, let's dive in, huh? And luck, fate.
I'll have to go back and look at my video, but I don't think the audio to the video is off in my video. That's weird. Maybe it's like a YouTube thing. I don't know. He does have every tab open in the universe, so maybe your RAM is screaming at you, Marquis. So maybe.
The prepared, everybody. And here is the ship you're going to need to set up every single bookmark, read warpable
Please, Scrappy.
point
That'd be
that
great.
you
Yeah.
need to keep
Okay,
your goods
bookmarks.
safe.
I thought this was a freighter video, Loru.
Patience.
Yeah, I thought it was freighter video too. So if you haven't ever done the bookmarking before, and it's hard to do from Jita because Jita has what, 3 exits now? So you got to kind of know which one you're at, which I have a hard time telling which one I'm coming out of. But basically, you just insta warp out to something and then you warp off, and that way you don't get caught right at the gate.
Correct.
But let me tell you something. Well, let's see if he goes over this, because there's a thing that they do to catch the freighters at their insta warps. Let's see if he talks about it.
Y'all about to get some
My
value?
son, patience. It is. This little tugboat guarantees the safety of all my billions of hauling goodies. And the primary focus of this little Punisher is to go as fast as possible.
Love a ship.
So that you can get on-grid bookmarks. You are cap stable going 8,700 ms. This is extremely fast and will get you any bookmark you need. And trust me, y'all, when you come out of the station with this, you are a bullet out of a gun. Now, the moment that you undock, you're going to double-click in an area of space.
It's dead on YouTube. Scrappy, are you saying that the video is off on YouTube? I'll have to check on that.
That's directly
Thank you for that, Scrappy. I'll have to look. That's weird. I never had that happen before.
in front of you. Let's double click right here and make sure our micro warp drive is on. You can press Control D,
Oh, okay.
Command D.
It's accurate?
Make
Okay, so it's
sure that
Marquee's
your
side.
point
Gotcha.
is actually forward, not going down, up, left, or right. Command
That
D
is a
is
good
going to
tip.
open up this lovely radio grid for you. This will work if, when you come out of the station, you're going straight on. If you go to the left a little bit or to the right a little bit, eventually you're going to be over here, and that's not ideal. Your ship's going to have to turn, and you will not be able to get your instant warp point. Once your stuff's on, I would just go get a sandwich or something and then come back in like 5 or 10 minutes. We're already, just in the span of us talking, about 400 km away from Jeddah. Look at the wrecks, y'all. What is going on today, Crimson?
Something was going on for Crimson Harvest. It's hard to see because I'm like reacting to my own damn video. There is like 100 just wrecks outside of Jeddah, and normally there's like 10, 20. They were going ham, dude.
The harvest in full swing.
Right, glad you guys like the
Once
bookmark.
you're far enough away, you're going to press Control B. That's going to open up this new location spot. Insta warp off. Yeah. We save that. And now any ship you own can go to that point the moment it undocks. Even your freighters. Now, I have a couple of these bookmarks.
I guess he likes what he
500
hears so
and
far,
3,000
right?
away. I like to keep the Gankers guessing by having multiple places for us to warp to. Now, the full fit for this Punisher will be in the link in the description. It's totally free, takes 2 clicks, enjoy. And speaking of freighters, we need to talk about a couple things before we move on to the actual avalanche itself.
All right, so let's talk about that undock thing, the bookmarks.
Tell me, Marky.
Here's the issue, is that people will have, so he's talking about going 300, 500K out or whatnot. That may not be enough. And when you're headed out, and you go out to one of these bookmarks out there, which I've done really deep, and I've had faster ships than what he shows there for bookmarking, and I've gone just for an entire day out in a direction. And here's the problem: is you never even get to full AU.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now I've been caught at my bookmarks before, and so here's how you get caught, and that is that the Gankers will have a combat scanning ship with their drones or their probes already tightly focused in on that stretch of area where you are going to land. And even if you're half a AU out,
Right.
they're probably still going to resolve you by having it so cinched tight, and then they hit the scan button right when you head out. They know exactly where you're at. They warp to you before you even get going.
Right. That makes sense.
Before you can make it to warp, they warp to you.
That makes sense.
And that's how it's like they insta combat probe you. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One,
how would we combat that? That's a great point. How could you combat that? Well, the first thing maybe is when you undock, maybe you don't just immediately unwarp. Well, because you can't cloak in a freighter. We're mainly talking about freighter hauling right now. That's a good point, though, Alan, but we're talking about freighter hauling. I would maybe undock in one of your ships that isn't a freighter, like your scout ship, your Punisher, the one that we did the bookmarks in, right? And just see, are there combat probes out on your D-scan? So that's one of the ways you can start that, because if they're already out, there it is. You can also use your tugboat ship, your webbing alt, which, by the way, I've updated my webbing alt fit. We're going to keep reacting to it. I updated my webbing alt fit based on the comments that y'all were giving me to add more sensor strength. He might even talk about this. I think we'll wait to show you the updated fit until then. So I'll put this fit in the description. This is our new Hugin fit. It's actually changed from my freighter hauling video. So we'll like put this down there. Maybe undock in a ship and see if there's combat probes out, and then warp out your freighter. That's probably the best way to do that, right? Because, I mean, I feel like this is common sense. Don't ever just like undock your freighter and start warping, right? You have to scout stuff anyway. So maybe add this to your scouting thing. So a really good point though, Marquee. Seriously, real good point. So, use one of your multi-boxers to drift. No, you can't. I don't think you can do that. No. So can't you bookmark 2 to 3 sites or randomly warp till you reach the gate? You can bookmark multiple sites, but a freighter warps so slowly, the gankers are going to be able to collapse on you before you initiate warp again. All other things. Thank you, Mackie. Thank you. So always checking D-scan for probes. Sure. Exactly. Yeah. It's a really good point. Okay, so first of all, already gotten some value out of this. Thank you, Marquee. Let's keep on listening.
One is they already haven't focused in on the right area. But the second reason is that freighters are huge. And so they're really easy to do. And so if you're the only Fenrir out there or the only avalanche or whatnot, and they saw you take off and they know you're that direction, and there's only one avalanche that shows up on the scan, and then they warp to it, and there you are. It's real. So
maybe second point is like, look on D-scan, and if you see other freighters, maybe that is a good time to go. That's a really good point, that if you're... Because how the scanner works is when you combat probe, it won't say Lorimer's freighter, right? It won't say Lorimer's Charon, Lorimer's obelisk. It'll say obelisk, Charon. But if there's 3 of them, at least you can have like the dice roll of, are they going to warp to you, or are they going to warp to another freighter and gank them instead? That's a really good point. Should you launch multiple freighters? No. Just like check D-scan and see if there's other freighters there. It's a good point. So love the points in chat as well. So you said that a decoy cheap freighter. Yeah, there's no such thing as a cheap freighter, though, right? It's an interesting idea. I think it's better if instead, and not all of us have the money for like multiple accounts that have also can fly multiple freighters. It's a good point, but I just don't think that's feasible. Is it probable? Sure. Is it feasible? I don't think so. Really good stuff, though. Really good stuff. So
really that easy. I can do it. I understand how it's done. I can do it. I'm not a...
Oh, we're talking about in high sec and jitter, though. Right? That's not, because you can't bubble in high... Right, you can't bubble in high sec. Right.
Ganker type person, but I could do it. All right, let's continue on.
We have a video where we go over the basics of freighter hauling. I feature a fit in that video that I will never be using again. I also talk about how you can solo freighter haul in that video. I will never be solo hauling again. And it's all thanks to you, yes you, the viewer. You showed me the light. You helped me to understand that multi-boxing is the way to get this literal knuckle from A to B.
Do y'all understand how incredible it is that I can make a video with like a guide, fits, and the comments are not only mostly positive, but there's so many tips in the comments. I literally changed my Hugin fit so I had a basic freighter hauling video. Y'all were like, no, dude, webbing alts. And I was like, okay, so I looked into it, I tested it, I did it myself, I did the due diligence. So I made a video on webbing alts, on freighter hauling, and I had a Hugin fit. And then in that new video, a second video, advanced hauling video, a bunch of comments like, nah, dude, sensor strength. You got to get the sensor strength above 400. So I was like, okay. So I tested it. Yep. We're going to talk about this fit in this video. We're going to put it in the description, the whole thing. So we're going to like show you. This is incredible that I'll put out a video that y'all will provide some value. I'll make another video with updated value after testing. You'll provide some more value. Marquee reacts. We've already learned a couple things. This is what I want to happen, y'all. I want these videos to be infotainment for you, for the viewer, and it's working. Call me Anakin because it's working.
So here's the fit I'm going to be using for all my freighters, not jump freighters. That's a future video, so sub for that.
Sub for that.
Yo, I don't know. This fit seems a little bit too complicated. Oh my gosh. Now hear me. When you multi-box your freighters, you are either going to brick tank with full reinforced bulkheads, or you're going to use full cargo expanders in the lows, but...
Oh, he'll hate that.
Oh my goodness.
He'll hate that. Watch.
Okay.
He'll hate that.
Do you guys see how much those things are worth? The ore bulkheads.
Got to pay for the EHP.
He's
buddy.
adding what, 500-600 million to the value of the ship. I don't think he has anything in it. It's saying 2.8 billion.
Empty cargo.
So, okay, guys, you know what I'm going to say, right? You never, ever use ore items in your freighter. You don't. You can use them in a jump freighter. A jump freighter does not have a correct fit.
We'll talk about jump freighters in another video. My thinking is my thinking is you want the most EHP possible, and you get the most EHP from the ore reinforced bulkheads. More EHP means the gankers have to bring way more ships, like 5 or 6 more. He says don't bring the ore bulkheads. So is he thinking you have to do the T2s? I'm a little sick today. Is that what he's thinking? Not the Tech 1s, no.
Freighter has the correct fit. There's the right ship and the right fit.
Definitely the obelisk.
He did show the right ship there for a minute. This one's not it. It's the other one. It's the obelisk.
Okay.
And
objectively, the obelisk is the best freighter. I use the Charon if I want to haul more because I fill up my freighters. I know y'all are like, don't do that. Literally, don't do that, chat. I am so confident with my webbing alts now and how it takes me less than 2 seconds to warp my freighter off that I just fill them up. And is it the right move? Probably not. Is it what I do? Yeah, you know. And with the Charon, you can fill up more. Marquee's right, though. The best freighter is an obelisk with bulkheads. I'm interested in what he's saying. Hopefully he explains why not the ores. Because you want the most EHP to discourage the gankers, right?
the right fit is Tech 2 reinforced bulkheads.
Okay.
That is the right fit. If you want to increase, if you want to get more EHP, use implants. And you can get up to almost 700,000 DHP.
I mean, that's a good point.
What has he got here? He's got 509,000
I didn't have armor implants on this. That's why it's low.
DHP. And then he mentioned ore cargo expanders.
I recommend you never do that.
I've used triple cargo expanders because I just didn't care and I wanted to just have one trip instead of 4. It's not a good idea. It's just, look, it's not a good idea. It's not the right thing to do. Sometimes I don't want to do it 4 times. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's right. You don't do cargo expanders. You don't. So, you know, sometimes I do because I just, sometimes you gotta have a little bit of danger. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, obelisk. He's going to make me change how I say it, chat. With the Tech 2s, huh? I need to hear. Maybe he'll explain more why. We'll see. We'll see.
You're
We'll
not
see.
going to mix your modules either. You're not going to put some bulkheads and some cargo expanders.
That's important.
Let me show you why. Right now, my Charon has 510,000 EHP. We have the blinged out or reinforced bulkheads in the lows. If I remove this and put in an Expando Cargo Hold 2, you see our tank goes
Both
down
drank.
to 363. We lose 140,000 effective HP. Now we do go up from
Don't do that.
493,000 M3 to a solid 628,000 M3. But y'all, when I tell you this is what the gankers want you to do, the
Yes, it
lower
is.
your EHP is, the easier you are to gank. So I almost never fly with expanded cargo holds. If I do get to my destination and I have a little bit extra that won't fit in my freighter, what I will do is use a specific cargo hold that minimizes the amount of structure hit points taken away. The basic expanded cargo hold only takes away 5% of our structure and still gives us.
Okay, so listen.
He's not happy about that.
If you are just this close to being able to fit your cargo, and you've got triple bulkheads, triple brick in there, pull one of the bricks out.
Yo.
You don't have to put anything in there.
Oh, that's so smart, dude. Yo, that's so smart. When I tell you, I compared items, I'm doing math, and of course, EVE Online spreadsheets. Market, what's the like meme that's like spreadsheets, math? Marquis like,
just take one out of the low slots.
that's so smart. Wow. How much more? How much more is this? Oh God, chat. He's gonna make me have an aneurysm here, dude. I'm furious. I'm furious. Just remove one. It's so elegant. I'm actually mad about this because I'm like, I did so much math in prep for that video. You can just take one out. That's infuriating. Okay, let's just do what I normally do, which is the ore ones just for the sake of it, but we'll try tech twos as well. Okay. And this I don't have freighter in this character. So we've got 500k, whatever, 400k. If I just remove one, we go up to 4 and we still are at 423. So we lose 70k EHP, but we gain another, looks like 25k. Yeah, you gain like 26, 25k. Is a better one of these. Can I put in like a Tech 1 version instead? You know, just for the sake of argument, can I put in... So the ores are minus 6% cargo. Tech 2 are much less, right? But see, by his logic, take out the Tech 2s. Maybe what you do instead is you put in a Type D, right? Because Type D is 5% cargo capacity. And then you maintain the EHP. This is a really good point. Look at the value y'all are getting today. Okay, so let's say, right, we're flying around. We're at 405, okay? And I need 40. I need just a little more. I did slight wrong calculations. We're going to put in a Type D. We go up to 409, and I maintain the EHP that I had. I had 497, and I only go down to 472. That's a good compromise. You can straight up take one out, but you lose like 70k EHP. Elegant solution, y'all. Real good. Real good. And thank you, Circuit. Thank you. That's a really good point, though. Really good point. And we'll have to see which one is more viable. I'd feel safer putting in a Type D that straight up gives you EHP, but it still minimizes your cargo loss. So I like that better than this, actually. So I will amend that I would not carry with you a basic cargo expander, and I would instead carry with you a Type D expanded cargo. Type D bulkhead is the basic Tech 1 version, right? More trips equals more risk. See, you could argue. Well, that's a good point. Let's talk about it. I want to hear what MARKEE'S say. It's a good point.
You pull one of the bricks. I mean, there's other stuff you could put in there.
Elegant
like
solution.
Some sort of resistance thing or something.
Elegant solution.
But
Love that solution.
if you just pull one out, your space goes up. You don't have to. Inertia stab, nah. Don't even worry about those because you don't get going fast enough. And so
no, you don't use the eye stabs. No. So this was the big difference between my first hauling video and this one. The first hauling video was a solo hauling video, and in that video I said you should use eye stabs with a mix of bulkheads to limit your. Sorry, Chad, I've had a head cold for 2 weeks. To limit your align time, because if you're solo, the best freighter becomes the Fenrir or the Obelisk, because it's the Fenrir has the best align time and the Obelisk has the best EHP. But the best align time, you still go to like 27 seconds. That might as well be an eternity. It's not worth it. I'd never, ever solo haul my freighters ever anymore. I always use dual boxing with a tugboat webbing alt. That's what we call it, a tugboat. And it's the Hugin. We're gonna, maybe. Oh, I was so excited to hear him talk about this. Okay, we have to get through this. It's a 43-minute video. God bless.
Yeah,
Let's keep here.
This just totally goes against what I preach, which is that Tech 2 bulkheads, 3 of them in an obelisk. I know that the cargo space is the lowest in that configuration, but it is. It's the right thing to do.
I agree with him. He's actually changed my mind on this basic expanded cargo hold. Instead of bringing a single, what I normally do is I have triple brick in the lows, and I bring with me a single basic expanded cargo hold because it had, my thinking was, it has the least EHP takeoff, but it gives you some cargo boost in case you do your math wrong. What I'm going to do instead now is not bring basic expanded cargo hold, and instead I'm going to bring a Type D bulkhead because it has the least amount of cargo reduction, but will still give you EHP back. And that all came from his idea of, hey, just remove the bulkhead. Really good idea. So he's changed my mind there. What I don't understand is the Tech 2 bulkheads versus the ore bulkheads. Maybe he'll go into that more. I also think a Charon is viable with triple brick because it has still high EHP, but has higher cargo than the obelisk. He's right that the obelisk with triple brick is the best because it is full stop the hardest to gank, period. That's it. End of story. But sometimes I just don't want to take 2 trips. And that's why I have a Charon and an obelisk. That's it. So this is what I wanted is perfect discussion that you get to benefit from.
That's a pretty decent cargo capacity bonus. I will take.
Another thing is that with having the ore stuff in here, he then lowers the amount of cargo that he can haul before gankers look at him and say, oh, you're a tasty target. Because already as it is, we're sitting at like between 1.5 and 2 billion is somewhere. You go over 2 billion and you are now into the territory of they see you and they start salivating.
Okay.
And it doesn't take very much.
Okay, they're animals. They're animals. That's the best. Well, the reactions. So his point is, okay, so he's saying you bring Tech 2 bulks because they're cheap, and the gankers will look at the ore cargo. The gankers will look at the ore bulkheads and say those are potential drops, which will make the ship more enticing for them to gank. I can agree with this. And here was my thinking. I'm going to use the ore bulkheads because they provide the least amount of cargo negation and the maximum EHP. The maximum EHP means that their gankers will need more ships to come get at me. But what he's saying is there's a second thing to think about in the ganker philosophy. Their goal is, yes, to be ISK positive, but also what's juicy on the kill mails. When you add in ore bulkheads, if one of those drop, they're like 200 million ISK? What are they right now? Okay. What are they right now? Bulkheads. Give me bulkheads. Why is my command not working? Give me bulkheads. Bulkhead. Oh my god. Bulkhead. Okay. Or bulkheads. What are they? 200 million? 206 million. Are they going up? They're going down. Ooh, bro. Chat, time to buy some. Oh, don't buy them now, but like watch. Maybe time to sell your ore bulkheads, chat, and then as they go down, buy them again because it looks like they're going down. So, so what I think he's saying is that if one of those bulkheads drop, the gankers are like having a field day. So my thinking was most EHP minimizes ganking. His thinking is the most potential loot maximizes ganking. I think that makes a lot of sense. Which one incentivizes gankers to come at you more? I think it's mine. Marquee, I think you've changed my mind. I think I don't bring ore bulkheads, and I only bring Tech 2s. I think he's changed my mind. You know, I'll have to do some math on how much EHP it is on my actual freighter character. But that makes a lot of sense to me because if one ore bulkhead drops, the catalysts that kill you in high sec are already ISK positive, not to mention the cargo. And you know I'm hauling cargo. You know what I'm saying? You know I'm hard on the good stuff. So that's a good point. It's a really good point. But let's read some comments. B9. But is the consideration the same for solo player and someone who has a corp as backup? How long does it take to get a freighter down? Can help arrive soon enough? If you're solo hauling in a freighter, I think you should haul like a bunch of tritanium that is worth like 50 million ISK, you know, and then they're not going to probably gank you because not only is the tritanium like, because 50 million tritanium is going to be like, what is it, like 100K like it's 100K something M3. It's just a lot, right? It's just going to be a lot. So it's just hard to do. So should you solo haul in a freighter? Maybe there's situations I would not. I have said this, that as a working adult, the best way to play EVE Online is with 2 Omega accounts. Full stop. The game opens up with that. The ore also raises their profit ratio. Right. They can sacrifice more. So they can bring more ships. I think Marquee's right. Marquee, you've changed my mind. I will use Tech 2 bulkheads in my freighters instead of the ores. You've changed my mind. This is chat saying it and you're saying it. I agree. I will also stop bringing the basic cargo expander. Maybe I'll bring the basic and the Type D bulkhead. I'll bring the basic cargo expander and the Type D bulkhead. That way I have some like modular. I can like switch around. I know you hate the cargo expanders, but you only lose 5%. It's not that much, you know. Really great discussion here, chat. Really great discussion.
So you're at the point where if you're putting in those modules, and let's see and like these 281,000 each. You know, if you're putting 3 of those in, well, next thing you know, you're at 800.
I agree.
No,
I gotta say,
yeah,
I agree.
You're at almost 800 million in there. And so, what have you got left for your cargo? I mean, not that you would run these either. I don't not ever recommend running expanded cargo hold. Anything.
Take one of these in my inventory at all times.
I almost never use them. It's just I was doing math and I was like, okay, and I tested it myself too. Seems good, right? So that happens a lot polarized, but I will tell you, I do a lot of my hauling on characters that are not public, right? We have 5 public accounts, and those are like, I just talk about them and like you can see them. My main, as you see it, is not my main. You know what I mean? Like that way, I just contract everything to the other characters and just go from there.
So that if I need some extra, I'll throw this in. We only go down to 415,000 EHP, and we go up to 580,000 M3. But again, I almost never do this because I don't want to make it too easy for the gankers to take me out.
Mackie.
And I really only fly 2 freighters in high sec. That's the Charon, the Caldari version, and the Obelisk. These are the best freighters for you to fly. Period. Full stop.
Nope.
The Obelisk has the highest EHP of any freighter. Charon has the highest highest cargo capacity of any freighter. So even if I brick tank...
My public hauling character is not my main. It's my alt, which is still public. I have not died on a freighter on either of those. Bro's trying to at me, chat. Let's go. Never, ever. And I flew it into low sec once. I think I mentioned in this video, I flew it into low. Literally, what I just described to you, Hammond. I had like 200k trit in some low sec system that's like close to Jedi. I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I flew my obelisk in. The moment I scouted it out for weeks, I waited till there was like like a lull in the gate camps. The moment my freighter came on grid, I saw accounts login, and I parked my freighter in that low sec station. I signed back in like 9 days later, and then I hauled it out. I didn't die. It was one of those and all of that work, I'm just going to get my Occator next time. It's just, it's not worth it.
I still have 5.
Thank you, AI. Thank you for that. Right. Oh, God. Knock on wood is correct. Yes.
100-something thousand.
So so he's got more ore stuff in here, 3 billion, and he doesn't even have anything else in there yet. And
I agree.
And so
I agree.
He's getting higher EHP. Yes.
You've changed my mind, Marky.
Yes, he is. But
you've changed my mind.
There's a different way to do this.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
A different way where the gankers don't know that you are tanked. And that is that you put regular Tech 2 reinforced bulkheads here, and then you put in implants that equal armor. And
I'm actually trying to buy those now. I'm trying to buy the best armor implants for my freighter alt, because I was testing what was the best implants, and I tried warp speed on it. Look, the obelisk goes like 1 point something AU, and you can get it to like 2 point something. It's such a waste of money. Put warp speed on a freighter, it's dumb. You can get armor on this. You can get to like 700 plus K EHP. And the best part is, when they ship scan you, they don't scan your implants. They don't see, when someone ship scans you, they see the stats based on the modules in the ship. They don't see it based on your implants, I think. Pretty sure. So you you kind of bamboozle them in that way. You can get like way more going there from that. So one of my Corp's main industry people pointed something out that I have to talk about too. He's been pinging me in. Thank you again, Al's. It's great. Good to have you in, my friend. Al's was saying about the D-scan and the combat probes. Al's was saying they can't get you until your freighter is actually landing. Okay? So it's not like they can get you while you're warping, and you warp slow, so they'd have to be really good at scanning you down. It makes sense. You still have to look out for combat probes when you're doing that, but just be aware. That was, thank you. One of our like head indie guys at our entire alliance is pinging me. So it's good to have you in. It's good to have you in. So, so yeah, it's a really, really good point, Alice. Thank you for that. Okay.
There's some nice sets out there. And if I remember right,
correct.
It's about 698,000 with the Tech 2 bulkheads. And the implants. Now, the implants are costly.
Oh, God.
They're a couple billion.
Yep.
But when the gankers scan you, because they almost always scan you beforehand, when they scan you, they don't know that you have that stuff in. And so even if they're estimating over by another 10%, many times they will fail to kill you because it wasn't on the scan. Now, that's not an absolute, because they could just be feeling generous and throw in a couple extra ships and go 20% over, because you're not getting 20% more. And so anyway, we'll continue on here.
Love it.
Cargo space. My obelisk has 650,000 EHP and at 440,000 M3. So if I'm taking all the valuables, I'm bringing the knuckle, baby. You gotta get the large lad coming out.
Obelisk.
Now the Fenrir and the Providence, the other two freighters, they're just not as good in my opinion. The Fenrir has better align time than these freighters, but you're not gonna need that. You're gonna see why in just a moment. And the Providence is more of a balanced fit. It has decent tank and decent cargo. I'd rather have one or the other. And
I want a Providence though. It looks so good. It's like Star Warsy. It looks like the Rebel Alliance ships. It looks awesome. And I want one just to have one, but I'm I'm probably never going to fly one because if I'm flying my crap, it's going to be a Charon or an obelisk, with the obelisk being the better choice. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about why all this works the way it works. When you're out and about going from A to B, typically there's going to be gankers on a gate that will scan your ship down and your cargo and your fit. This means they're going to know how much HP you have and how valuable your cargo is. They are then going to go talk to their buddies and say things like,
Hey, how many ships do we have? We got a guy with 500,000 EHP.
they just do the math and see how many catalysts or the similar ship that they need to bring to take this sucker down. And if
Which
you
is
have
exactly
way
what I was
less
talking about.
EHP, it makes it easier for them to take you.
And if they don't know that you have those implants, then they many times will not figure right. And they don't always.
And he's right. And a lot of times what gankers will do is they'll just assume you have implants and just bring more people. You know, so this is a big point. You are
Never safety.
You're just not. Like, all this planning, you could do everything right. What did Picard say, the man himself? You could do everything right and still lose. That is life, right? It's just, what we're trying to do here is minimize the chance you get ganked and lose your crap. That's the point of these discussions. So, Owls, again, thank you for that. It's Owls was saying that, like, look, they're just going to bring a bunch of overkill, right? One of our main indie people from my alliance is like, look, if they see you in a freighter, they'll just bring an extra 5 anyway. Because how much is a catalyst? 700,000 ISK, right? Again, he has changed my mind with the ore bulkheads. So
I can tell you, when I've had the full implants in and somebody's attempted to...
Right, Bleeding? I love the Providence, but Amar Freighter 5, my man. Dude, if you like the Providence, fly it. It looks nice.
Gank me, they haven't gotten me. Now, it'll happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
It will.
Always does.
And I've been killed in a freighter before. But it's less likely that they're going to get you. And so, but you still can't carry too much, because if you're carrying a shit ton in there, which is way more valuable than a regular ton, then
It is.
they're going to throw extra ships at you for good measure.
Out. And
Someone said this in chat. Doesn't more trips mean more risk? That's what I tend to agree with. If you're multi-boxing that and doing the tugboat webbing alts that we show you in this video, I think that mitigates almost all. You're never going to mitigate everything, but almost all of the risk of filling up your freighter. The most I've hauled at one point, I want to say it was like 18 billion ISK. And it was just ships and like auto integrity, whatever, like the battleship mats that you make from PI and Indy. It was like 18 or 20 billion ISK. I went through Udema. Yep. And I scouted it out beforehand. I waited till I didn't see a lot of accounts on. You know, you wait till you see like, oh, is there a tornado on the gate? No. Right? Is there a bunch of gnosis on the gate? No. Like, I'm just going to, nope, I'm not. And I didn't go from gate to gate. I bounced off of a save point. I made previously bookmarks. Did the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. So Udema is scary, but I did it all. I planned it all out. Got through easy. I filled up my Charon and I went through and I didn't get ganked because of everything that we were talking about. Now, sometimes you're just going to do that and die. If you just want to be safe, the safest option is you put like, a couple extra billion in there and then you do many trips over weeks. But I don't have that kind of time. I got a wife, I got a family. That's how it is. Oh, dude, Abazon. Abazon's another thing. So no, yeah, AI. It was one time. The normal freighter haul I get is maybe a third or a half of my obelisk full. So it's like 2 billion, 3 billion. I'll put like, when I make like 30 coveters, because that's one of my main things, is from Operation BPO. We have all of those. We have the coveters and the retrievers maxed blueprint now, 10 and 20s. So I'll make coveters and retrievers and all that, porpoise, and I'll haul them back. And, that's how we do it. So safest option is to stay in the hangar. That's true, dude. That's incredible. Okay, let's keep.
And in fact, if they see a cargo expanded fit freighter, they immediately start going into a frenzy saying, oh, that's the guy. Your goal when you're hauling in high sec is not to carry the most stuff, but to be as minimally juicy as possible. So all this said, the rule with freighters is always start with full brick. So when exactly are you supposed to fly the avalanche then? The avalanche is best for moving PI and structures. And speaking of the avalanche, anybody want one? That's right, one of the viewers of this video.
So I have to say this, we're watching this video, we're reacting to a reaction, okay? I'm not giving away, this will be on YouTube, this. I'm not giving away an avalanche on this video, but why don't we do this? I'll give away an obelisk to the commenters in this video. What do I say here?
Who's going to win an avalanche?
Let's listen to this. One sec.
That's 3 billion-isk, y'all. Let's make someone's day. So in order to be entered into this giveaway, you must be doing these 3 things. First thing you got to do is subscribe. My bot's going to know if you're not subbed and you're going to miss out on 3 billion-isk. Second thing you're going to do is go into the comments and type, avalanche me, Loru. The third thing you're going to do in that same comment is put your in-game name. I need to know who the heck I'm going to send the contract to.
Which Loru's in charge? I love it. So I typically do these big giveaways. Let's give away an obelisk in this video. It'll be on YouTube. So live viewers, you'll have to come back and watch the video. What we'll do is we'll do the same thing. You got to be following on Twitch or subbed on YouTube. Sorry, that's for live giveaways. For the YouTube giveaways, you must be subbed on YouTube. You're going to put in the comments, T2s only. Okay. Put T2S only. Okay. And then do your in-game name, right? So what the heck? I like press enter and then do your in-game name. So that way I can know who the heck to send the contract to. So sub on YouTube, type T2S only, and then put your in-game name in that same comment. He changed my mind. So let's do T2s only. Okay. And we'll give away an obelisk to one person. Enjoy it.
Typically,
it's my thank you to Marquee for this good value. Let's go get it done, y'all.
We announce the winners a couple days after the video goes live.
Say hi, YouTube.
I'm super stoked to be able to give back to you. Thank you.
And Paul, I see you typing it now. You have to wait for this video to come out on YouTube. The live chat is already going. I love to see it. I love to see it. Typing it now. When we put it out, then we'll do it. We won't give one away now. You'll have to wait. Okay, I know y'all are like,
oh, yes, right now, let it go quick enough.
Let me put that first. Let's go. Incredible. I love it.
We almost doubled the amount of patrons we had from the last video to this video.
Thanks for the happy birthday, y'all. Thank you.
The brand is growing, and thank you for sharing this video with all your buddies. Super stoked to give somebody an avalanche. And now the moment you've been waiting for. Let's talk about the large lad and how you can use it. This is one of the biggest ships in my arsenal, the Avalanche. Coming in at a massive 700,000 EHP. It has more tank than the Obelisk does, but it does have way less cargo capacity.
Yes, okay. This is blinged the hell out. Okay, so how would based on what we were just talking about, how would I fix this fit now? Okay, so let me make this bigger so y'all can see. Actually, do I have it? CSI music. Where is it? One sec, chat. Ready? Let's see if it works. I know I can. Give me a second. Ready? Enhance. I got it. We got it. Look at my production chat. Okay, so how would I fix this fit now that we're not going to use those? So instead of 2 bulkheads, we'll use 2 Tech 2 bulkheads. Instead of a syndicate damage control. No, I think the same thing stays. We'll use a Tech 2 damage control. And instead of a big shield hardener, I would use a Tech 2 shield hardener. And yes, we're still going to use the Capital Flex shield hardener. So I would just take anything faction you see and just make it into Tech 2s. That's it. That way we're not going to worry about the rest. So that's how I would fix this fit. T2s only. Yeah. T2s only for show. That's how I would fix that fit. So
main card.
I'll put the updated freighter fits into the description of this YouTube video when it comes out. Okay, so
go. And all my other freighters. So why would you use this? Well, y'all, it's because the Avalanche has its own specific cargo hold called the infrastructure hold. Yes. And at rank 4 Upwell Hauler has 2.8 million M3. I did some math.
I think it's
That's 45 times the amount my Ocketer holds in PI.
Question from Nova, is it worth it to switch to Caldari shield extender? If we're going by our new way of thinking, that we want to minimize the cost on our modules to stop the salivating of the gankers. Before, when I made this fit, I was prioritizing only EHP. So I blinged out everything. I did a bunch of stuff, blah, 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 right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to only use the best modules for the price, which is the T2s. So should you use Caldari Shield Extender, my advice to everybody is only use the T2s, because I don't know how much more expensive the Caldari stuff is. Y'all that are typing in T2s only and then your in-game name, I see you. Right now we're live. This is a reaction. This will be on YouTube. That is where the contest will be in the new published video. I understand the confusion. It's honestly hilarious. So, at the end of this video, we'll give away a obelisk. At the end of this live video, we'll give away an obelisk. And when I put this video up as its own standalone video, we'll also give one away. We'll do one live in just a moment. We'll also do another one when this becomes its own video. Be patient.
Structure hold can only hold specific.
You got it, King Arthur.
Here's a list on what it can.
Look, it's my birthday. It's my birthday stream, and we said we'd give you presents, so let's get it done, baby.
Some notable ones are all PI commodities and command centers, fuel blocks, refined ice products, and moon materials. It can hold so much, y'all. I love this ship. And the nuances of the fit are where stuff gets.
So, you still can't be hauling too much value, and so you need to be careful of that. Just because it has all that space doesn't mean you need to fill it up.
True.
I mean, seriously, it doesn't. So
it's interesting. The Avalanche is the only freighter that has a decent stat grid that lets it equip more than just bulkheads and a couple stuff in the lows. So we've got a single blinged out damage control on there. That one module is going to take our EHP for 477k up to 700k.
How much is an Avalanche right now? They're like 3 billion.
Yeah.
And if he has nothing in the holds, has he got another 1.6 billion in fit?
Yep. But you changed my mind. I
mean,
Tech 2s. Tech 2s. He's so upset. I love it.
I don't know.
I understand it.
They're 3.6 to 3.7 billion. So he's got a billion fit. Let's say he's got a billion ISK fit.
There's 1.6 billion fit. Yeah.
It's like he's already got the fit. He put his cargo value into the fit.
That's good point.
That's what I'm concerned about. It's
yes.
like he doesn't have anything left over for his cargo in value.
Good point.
Because, see, too, you got to think of all these resource spots as cargo, because they can drop whenever you get killed. You can drop whenever you get killed.
I like that.
And so it's potential loot, just as if you're carrying that kind of value.
This is why I'm so glad we're doing this, y'all. And look, he doesn't like that it's blinked. He has literally changed my mind. Sure. That makes a lot of sense. How you think about the modules and how you use your ship, you have to understand what they literally are, not just what you use them for, right? So I'm willing to have my mind changed here, and he has. That makes a lot of sense to me. So we've already talked about this enough. T2's only got it, so.
Are also going to add some shield tank to this ship. I recommend going with double multi-spectrum and then a single capital flex shield hardener. The Avalanche is one of the only ships that can fit a capital shield flex hardener.
Still use that one.
Shield hardener that takes charges to run. You can run it as is and it'll give you a small bonus, but if you throw a specific kind of resistance in, you get a massive buff to that shield resistance. What I recommend is you bring a crap ton of EM shield resistance to bump up your res up to 84%. You do want to bring the rest of these, though, in case the Ganker ships switch to thermal or something similar. You can, on the fly, swap to whatever you're being hit by. Now, if you're unable to use a capital flex shield hardener, I do recommend you bling out just a basic EM shield hardener. We have a Dread Garistas one on this character because you just can't fly those yet. And speaking of differences, you know that these Upwell ships have a bite. This is a freighter that can fight back.
Ooh.
Now, this character
I'd be really interested to see what he says about this, because the missiles aren't a big deal on the Avalanche. They're just not when you're talking about hauling, okay? They're like 5% of the actual point of the entire ship. When you're hauling other activities, it's more Thank you for the kind words, Umber. Thank you for that. So let's see what he says.
Tech 1 missiles. We have a Tech 2 fit for you in the description as well. Follow the links, totally free. And you're going to be using a full suite of auto-targeting missiles. Now, even with the bad stats on this character, I'm getting a solid 500 DPS. It goes up even more once you get your skills up. And y'all, the Avalanche is super fun because it has a massive defense. But the offense should be thought of as defense as well. When the Gankers do the math I was telling you about, and they say,
oh, this guy has 700,000 EHP, but oh crap, he's got a bunch of guns too.
They have to.
How long in Udema? How long does it take them to shoot your freighter to blow it up?
4 seconds.
Is it about 20 seconds?
Maybe I was going to say 5 to 10. You know.
And then Concord is arriving.
You know.
And so if this is 500 DPS. And we times that by, let's just say 30 seconds to be
might take out generous. 3, 4 destroyers. Something like that, Maggie. Yeah, thank you, Sean.
So we're looking at 15,000 DPS. And so another thing, you can't, I think with the auto-targeting missiles, you can't select your targets.
Correct.
It just starts going.
Correct.
And so, yeah, Jack Fu says you're only going to get like 2 to 3 catalyst kills tops.
Yo, R. Lee, thanks for gifting members on my birthday. Thank you for that. A lot of you have been gifting subs too. We're going to talk about them after the thing. I'm trying to really listen to what Marquis says. Thank you for gifting memberships and subs today for my birthday. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. God bless you, R. Lee. Thank you.
Right. And they're already doing a ton of damage to you. I don't think that the Gankers are actually adding anything to their formula for if you have weapons.
That's fair.
I just doubt that they're even figuring that in. I love Loru, but when it comes to hauling, I know a shit ton about hauling.
He does.
I got to tell you.
He does. So, look, I think he thinks he's being too direct. I don't think so. I think he's saying the right thing because he's done more hauling than I have, and that's fine. And again, the person that benefits is you, the viewer. So thank you, Marky. Love y'all too. This is the missiles on this are one of those, like, you have the high slots. You have the capacity to do so. So if you're hauling ships, you might as well put some, if you're hauling stuff and in the Avalanche you haul your PI, you might as well put something in the highs. You shouldn't just have empty high slots. That's what I'm saying. Now, he's right. The missiles here, they're really not a part of the calculation of the Gankers. You're going to take out, like, what, 3 to 5 of the other ships? If you take out some, if you're getting ganked, you know. Could that be enough that you might live? Maybe, and it's a tool you have. So you might pop some. Right. The most important thing here is the tank. And you get up to, like, you know, you get real big EHP. When you start overheating this, you can go up to, and then if you get your implants going, you can get to like 800k EHP, I think, with Avalanche. I'll have to do the math again we're going to, again, Tech 2 instead of these. So, yeah. Right. 2.5k, pop, and just keep hitting stuff. Exactly. So, right. The missiles don't ooze it, and that's correct. And the missiles aren't going to cost so much. The missiles still fit in the, we're going to use the least amount of ISK for the best tank. This is technically still tank, albeit the smallest part of the tank. I think he understands that, and he's been saying that. So, won't rapid heavies work better for application? These are rapid heavies, yes. So these are rapid heavies. So yeah, and test the missiles. Test what works best. I found in my math that rapid heavies were the best. So, and hey, yeah, if you go down, might as well get some kill marks too, for sure. So against catalysts, maybe. Again, it's not about, like, you could do math on the missiles and see what is the best missile for the area of space you're in and what the ganking corps are doing. You could, but I'll just be honest with you. It's like 5% of the Avalanche fit are these missiles when you're hauling your PI. 95% are this tank. I don't think it's worth it. I would put on rapid heavies, put in some decent ammo, and just call it a day. That's it.
take this into account when they're bringing their number of ships, because you're going to kill off some of their ships before they can take you out. It means they have to bring more things in order to kill you. The race is against the clock and high sec. They will die to Concord. The auto-targeting missiles are the most fun thing about this. This is a freighter, and the lock speed on this is atrocious. Something like 50 seconds.
Yeah, you don't even lock onto it.
But these auto-targeting missiles don't need you to lock on. The moment something damages you, you just activate the module and it starts shooting. Thanks CCP for a fire and forget freighter that does a bunch of damage. This ship is one of the safest ways to get your PI and other materials around safely. But absolutely none of this matters. None of it. If you get caught on grid while you're warping out,
the fun begins.
The avalanche 43 seconds to start aligning out. A literal eternity.
Okay, so you can get the avalanche off of a gate on its own without any other ships in 7.5 seconds.
Micro warp drive?
You do that by having an abyssal thruster. And the abyssal part of it is to where you lower its cycle time. And because it's normally 10 seconds, and so then you lower it to 7.5 with a good roll. And you have plenty of power grid here and everything, and plenty of room, so that if you do get a good roll on your timing and it causes power to go way up or whatnot, you're probably still okay.
Oh yeah,
and
you have plenty. Good point.
So
good point.
So that's 7.5 seconds.
That's a good point though, but then that's another billion-esque module. Right, that kind of breaks what he says. And also, so first of all, it's a great point to use the micro warp drive on an avalanche. You cannot cloak trick on an avalanche, micro warp drive cloak trick, because it cannot fit a cloak. It's literally in the description of the ship, like cannot fit a cloak. So you can't cloak trick with it, because they know, the devs know that it can fit a warp drive, and then that would be dumb if you cloak trick a damn brick as it goes through space, right? Even though you can abyssal roll a capital level micro warp drive, and you can, sorry Chad, I've been sick for 2 weeks. You can do that, and you can get the align time on an avalanche sub 8 with a abyssal rolled micro warp drive. I still would never do that because I do not haul freighters unless I have my tugboat webbing alt, which we're about to show. Okay.
And
that is true. A non-abyssal rolled will still be 10 seconds, which is much less than 43 seconds. So that is good for if you're a solo player, one account, and you have an avalanche, you can fit one micro warp drive, not abyssal rolled, and it's still a 10 second. That would be if you're going to do something like that, that would be my recommendation, to not use the abyssal roll and instead use just a normal Tech 2 compact, whatever. Get the cheap one. You don't need a Tech 2 because all you need is the cycle time. So you can't roll cycle time on MWT. He's saying you can, so I must be able to. You don't need a cloak through the micro warp drive trick. Correct. There's the cloak micro warp drive trick. Then there's you pulse the micro warp drive one time or the afterburner one time to get it going. I haven't done any of that math on the freighter, on the avalanche, is the only freighter that can do it, because I'm never going to do that because I have my webbing alt, because the align time is 2 seconds. Okay, when you use a webbing alt, we're going to talk about it. Thank you, Flux. Thank you for that. So, Davey, here, let me permit you. One sec, Davey. Type that again. Davey has shown things. It's just a link. What's up, Davey? It's great to see you. Let me permit you, my friend. Go ahead and post that link again, Davey. Let's keep on going.
Will that save you? Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Not worth it.
I think that.
Bowhead can fit.
I think that most of the time, when gankers are targeting you, if they're just taking you as opportunity because you came through the gate and you just happen to be the next one and they're all ready to shoot something, then it may not be as sophisticated a setup. But if they have scanned you before you go through the gate, they are going to already know what their game plan is. And their game plan is going to involve scramming you.
Yeah.
They're going to scram you. They're going to get you in something that's...
Yep.
And it only takes a little tiny ship to scram you.
One ship.
It doesn't take anything big.
Yep.
So let's continue.
We're going to talk about this more with the tugboat all, but that it's a really great point that then run a scram. Nah. Because what happens, and I almost always haul in high sec with my freighters. I've only hauled in low sec once, and I already talked about that. If they point you, all this blob of catalyst is going to point you. There's no point in running a warp core stab in the lows of any freighter. And again, it's only, I think you can run it in bowhead, and maybe you can definitely run it in the avalanche. So it's not worth it, because if you have 35 catalysts hopping on you, all of them are going to have a scram. You're not going anywhere. It's just not going to happen. So, and he's right. It only takes one thing. It's not worth running a warp core stab on the freighters that can run it, and not all freighters can. We'll talk about this more later. My webbing alt makes it so that he's talking about how like the gankers will scan your ship. They have a plan. Because I warp out within 2 to 3 server ticks with my freighter, with the webbing alt, I don't give them time to get a plan. I'm already gone. You know, this, one of the best parts about it is I've had people I've seen that like, yep, my freighter just got scanned, and I will go dock up in a NPC station. I'll come back in a couple days. You know, but I get there quickly because of my webbing alt. So
continue on, see what his solution is.
As far as
correct,
I'm
Mackie.
concerned,
Correct.
But we can take that number to 0. Yes, instant warp outs for your freighters. Here's how.
0.
Y'all, I call it the tugboat. And through a clever use of game mechanics,
let's see what he says.
you're gonna multi-box
See what
this
he
character and your freighter. You're going to duel your freighter, web your freighter, and the freighter is going to warp out that fast, lickety-split. You're all done. I cannot make this more clear. Make sure you duel your freighter and not just aggro your character. I've never done this. I'm warning you. I don't want to hear in the comments.
Loru, I forgot to duel. And,
Let's dive into the fit so I...
As fast as it takes you to lock your freighter, that's as fast as it takes for the freighter to warp out. That's it. Because the moment you lock on, the freighter warps out. It's like 2 to 3 server ticks. And I've actually updated my Hugin fit again. We're going to, oh man. Yeah, let's see what he has to say, and then we're definitely going to talk about the Hugin fit.
I can show y'all the good stuff. Now we have 2 fits for you. This one is cheaper, easier to get into from a skill perspective, but harder to use. This is the Daredevil. The Daredevil gets a pretty awesome bonus to webifiers. And with my skill, we're looking at around 84% effectiveness on this web. Ugh, it's going to slow anything down, sheesh. And we do get just under 7k EHP, thanks to all the various tank modules that we're using at the rigs and the lows, even a little bit in the mids. We are going to run an afterburner that makes us go 1400 once you activate it. This is going to come into play later. It's very slippery as well with a sub 2-second align.
I do like
love it.
The align on it.
This will do that for
really
you.
Good.
And the single cloak is in case you have to chill out in space and wait for your aggro timer to go down. Because you're going to be dueling your freighter, you will not.
No. You can't.
Oh, yeah. Just wait. Ready? While he's having a conniption, one of the top comments that I had on my advanced freighter hauling video was, take the cloak off of your Hugin and your Daredevil. And he's probably going to say this because it like doubles your lock speed. I have. Based on the comments in that video, I literally changed how I fit this ship. This is my Hugin tugboat. We don't have the cloak anymore. I will show you though, the Hugin is, and we'll talk about this at once we're done listening to what Marquee has to say. I do have for you though, and these links will be in the description of this YouTube video when it goes live. The Hugin has no cloak, better EHP, and still over 400 scan res. Okay, the Rapier, and I'll just show you this. The Rapier is the sister ship that gets a covert ops cloak. The covert ops cloak it does not give you a negative scan res. So if you want to have a ship that is a webbing alt that you want a cloak on it for whatever reason, there's just like there's a lot of tornadoes on grid, you're scared of getting popped by something, they have like 10 tornadoes and you must haul today. The covert ops cloak on the Rapier, ladies and gentlemen, does not negate your scan res. You can still, this is the fit, we'll put all this in the description so you can copy and paste it. And I made this fit when I updated my Hugin fit because sometimes you do want a cloak. The Hugin has more EHP. The Hugin has a better, let me simulate this. The Hugin has more EHP than the Rapier, but no cloak. Okay, and the Hugin has a better align time, I think, than the Rapier. Whoa, what the heck? No, stop us right now. Yeah, sure. That's weird. What's going on? Stop us right now. Hey, 1 sec. The heck's going on? Check, get out of there. The Hugin has a, ooh. Yeah. I don't know what the hell just happened. My buttons. The Hugin has a better, the hell just happened, dude? The Hugin has a better EHP and a better align, but no cloak. The Rapier has a covert ops cloak, way less tank, almost half. And no, the Rapier has a better align. Excuse me. Rapier has the better align. And who cares about the DPS? It's just throwaway modules. So we'll talk more about this. He's going to probably say this about the cloak. I can tell you that I took the cloak off of all of my webbing alts because of the comments on this video. Thank you. Thank you for that, commenters. Okay, so you may have him turn into a literal dragon after this. Look at him. This is the face of a man who is upset at my God right now. It's great. And again, it's good. I'm not upset by this. I like that he's giving this discourse because who benefits? You do, Chad. You do. It's great.
You cannot use a cloak on a Weber ship. And the reason is when you add a cloak, it doubles your lock time. You need, okay, so to effectively be a Weber.
I should apologize to Marquee. He's losing his mind. No, I've already pinged him and said, hey, I'm going to use T2s. Don't like worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
You need a couple of things. One is that you need a quick lock, like really quick. And so
how quick? Many of you were saying in the comments of that video that you got to get over 400 scan res to near insta lock the freighter. So that's what I've done, and I can tell you that this is the move. This is the move, that you get 400 scan res down, and it's like less than a second. So we're on a gate. Okay. Here. We're on a gate. Okay. I'm here. My freighter is here with my Hugin. We undock. Where is it? We press warp. The Hugin comes out. I lock onto my freighter. Bloop, bloop. And the freighter leaves. I press warp on freighter. I lock onto it with my Hugin. I have the webs loaded up already. The freighter leaves. It takes 2 to 3 server ticks. That's all. And again, thank you in the comments of that video, y'all. I read all the comments. Y'all have really changed my mind and helped improve everybody that's going to see this video. And of course, give Marquee less heartburn. So, you know.
I don't even know how quickly this will lock on its own, but
it was still decent.
Here's the fit. The fit is not a daredevil. The fit is a curer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate this ship because I can never spell it. Curer. Where is it? I have one. I have a fit for you. Okay. The fit is the curer, he says. The curer is I have one literally ready to go because I was doing all this math earlier. The curer gets webifier range. Okay. Let me make this yellow so it's easier to see. The curer gets webifier range. Okay. The rest of the bonuses do not matter. The curer is a frigate. All right. So with 2 of these, you can get range with Caldari Navy webs, which is what I would use on a curer fit. Come on. Really? Now you're not working all of a sudden? Daggum pen tool is failing me, chat. The curer gets a 26K on its web. There it is. It was just rebooting. Fantastic. Curer gets 26K. Web range is really the move. I put Daredevil in there instead of a curer because the Daredevil was almost half the price, right? So the Daredevil had more micro involved where you only needed 1 web and you afterburnered in range of the freighter, but it was almost half the price. So that was the reason that I did that, okay? The Curer is the better ship for this, but it's 255 million-isk. And guess what? The Rapier, which is a better ship, is less money, and the Hugin is less money than the Curer. So you want to use the Hugin. The Curer is a good frigate option, but it has way less EHP. The align time is, better, but it's just a frigate. I'm not going to fly something that can get easily popped off grid, right? Show me T2 webs on the Curer with heat. Sure. You got it. You got it. Check this out. But see, I'm not going to overheat. You know, I just want it to be good as is. T2 with heat is going to be 26. Okay, so it's still there. Unheated is still 20K. But the Hugin unheated is 34. See what I'm saying? And for less money with 5x the EHP, what is it at 38K? You know, the Hugin's the better ship. You can use the Curer. He's not wrong. You can use the Curer. The better ship is the Hugin. That's the one you should go for. And it's less money than the Curer. We picked the Daredevil because it was almost half the cost of some of the other ships that I was getting into. Whenever I do my guides, I want to do like, here's the affordable one. Here's the best one. The affordable one is typically the one you have to do more, have more micro. The better one is the one that has all the bells and whistles. Does that make sense? So yeah, a Loki too, you know what I'm saying?
And a Curer is a Blood Raider ship, frigate, which can have two webs.
He's right.
And a propulsion, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm not looking it up right now.
Yes.
But 2 webs and a propulsion. And the webs get a big-ass bonus to them. It's like 20% per level.
Correct.
And so you can web from like 20K with no problem. And
Definitely
then
Nebula.
In your rigs, you are putting in rigs that help you fast lock. You don't worry about the tank on this ship.
So that's my first big. This is the first time I will hard disagree with Marquee. He said, you do not worry about EHP. You put fast lock on this. I have field extenders, polycarbon engine housing, just because it helps you to move a little bit faster. Because just in case you're out of range of the freighter, you can get to this. And the polycarbon helps you with your align speed as well. He is correct that the number one thing on a webbing alt is the lock speed. Number one. Okay. Again, we'll have this in the description so y'all can copy paste. When you get around 400 scan res, I was locking my freighter that literally just 1,000, boom. Okay. Maybe it's 2 1,000 depending on your skills. Okay. So 2 server ticks, 1 server tick, whatever it is, 400 on the scan res was enough. If you want to heat this, you don't really need to, whatever. So the 2 modules that do this on my updated Hugin Fit is the signal amp and the sensor booster. Okay. Now, why do I say I hard disagree with not important EHP? The reason why I don't use a Curer, it's got 6K sub that EHP. There has been many times when I've been hauling and there's 1 tornado. And I go, well, I can't bring my Curer, can't bring my Daredevil. I don't use the Daredevil anymore, right? I use the Hugin because I'll get alpha'd by that. And then what happens to my freighter? It's a sitting duck. 40 seconds on the align time on my Charon or my obelisk. So I will bring the better EHP. It's why I say the Hugin is the best ship because it has the best EHP. The align time is, so what's the stat order? Number 1 is the lock speed. He's right. Number 2, in my opinion, is the EHP because you have to be able to survive whatever's happening on grid, etc. And it's really about protecting you from those alpha tornadoes that are just like, there's 5 on gate, that's it, boom, done. The next one is align speed. And again, it's like 4th. It's like we skip 3rd and go to 4th because align speed is like whatever. You want to get off grid as fast as possible, but it's not as big of a deal as those 2 and 3. So the Rapier fit that has the covert ops cloak has where you still get the decent scan res. Okay. Why again, the Rapier doesn't need as much EHP because you lock your freighter up, it insta warps off 1 to 2 seconds, whatever. Then you hit covert ops cloak. This combats the tornadoes still, because if you see a bunch of tornadoes, you heat this up to 23K. You can even put in more tank mods and lows if you want. I like the sub 4 second align. The moment the freighter's off, you press covert ops cloak, you're safe. That's it. So that's it. So exactly, Paul. Yes. Why are you concerned about align time on the Hugin? Because I want us to get off grid after we get our stuff done. When I say I'm concerned about align time, again, it's after scan res, after EHP. Like number 1, scan time. Number 2, EHP. We skip number 3 and we go right to number 4. That's the align time. I just hate having high align time on ships that are travel fit. That's it. And the nanofibers increase your on-grid nav, and the polycarbons increase your on-grid nav with the align speed. You might as well get it from a, this is a sub 7. Blows up to sub 5. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. So that's what we're going to be doing there. So let's keep on listening to what he has to say.
This ship is not the target. You put on rigs that are fast lock, and so that you can instantly lock as soon as you see the freighter. You already have the webs turned on. You're already close enough.
Again, and Pagel has a good point. What if they lock you up, then you can't cloak? Sure. That's when you can warp out. There's your align speed. Maybe the tornado is locked up the freighter first. We're about options because you can never plan for everything. Every ship has its strengths and weaknesses, but you want to have a lot of tools in your belt. That way you minimize, because if you just do one thing, right? You know, if we only lock fast, but our HP sucks and our align speed sucks, then we lose out on, hey, there's a bunch of tornadoes, they can pop me. Hey, this guy, what if the guy is like watching Netflix while he's on the gate and you have a 8-second align time and he's like, oh crap, there's a thing. And then he locks you up. But if you have a 4-second, then you're off grid. I wasn't paying attention. Human error is a thing. And we have to have a lot of tools in our belt. So
you're already close enough in 99% of the cases to just instantly do it. And then your freighter will warp in like 3 seconds. It's not instant. He also mentioned that it was instant. It is not. It is more like 3 seconds if you do everything exactly right. It's not instant.
Not be able to jump gate to gate immediately. You might need to just chill and wait that stuff out. Now, because your web only has a range within 10K, you're going to want to activate your afterburner to be able to get in range of the freighter when you're going from gate to gate.
I can't stand it. I got to show you.
Show me, Marky. Show me.
So here is client. Here is the cure.
He's doing it, man.
And
I'll put the cure fit. I'll put my cure fit in the description for you. I'll put the Hugin fit. I'll put the Rapier fit. I wouldn't use the Daredevil anymore. I just put it as the cheaper option. But if we're talking about best, and we are, I'll put those in the fit for you. I'll put those in the description.
The cure here has 20% bonus to stasis webifier range. And so if you're using faction where you're already getting like 15, you can get like 30K on it. And then the fitting mids 3, so you can do 2 of the webs and propulsion. And yeah, you would never use a cloak on this.
Yeah.
So,
take the cloak off.
Anyway, cure.
My thinking when I made that video is have a cloak as an option, like we were saying, have the option of being able to cloak at like a safe point in case. But it is detrimental to our prime must lock on the freighter, so I removed it on my fits. He is correct. Do not run a cloak on those anymore. So So, when am I bringing back the stash? I'd like to. We'll see.
Is my pick for that. It's fast. You can use rigs to get a nice fast lock time, and I don't know that I have a fit for it on this character.
I do.
I may have on one.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Let's see.
S87
How do you spell cure?
I know, right?
Cruour. Oh my god.
My dyslexic ass. I can't do it.
You know, when they spell the name so crazy.
Cruour.
Cuor.
Oh, cure.
Here we go.
Let's see what he's got.
Weber. And look at this. We've got targeting system subcontroller and then hyperspatial velocity optimizer. We got the dual webs.
The web's good.
So 26 on this character.
Why is there Marquette, I love you, man. What's with the salvager, bro? Wait. I'm gonna channel him. Oh, I can't. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you just can't put a salvager on a webbing alt is not optimal. I just messed with the guy. I got it. No, look, it looks like he's trying to do two. In all seriousness, it looks like he's trying to do two things on this, right? The micro warp drive, fine. Double web alt, sure. I don't know what these like DPS modules are on the lows. I'm not sure what that is. It's a salvager freighter when it get ganked. Let's go. Look, is this a good fit? Sure. But again, it's 200 million ISK. I'm just going to fly Hugin. Better EHP, you know?
I don't know.
You can use a Curer, and that fit will be in the description. The Hugin or the Rapier are the better ships, full stop, in my opinion. That's it.
If I have a Mastery 5 on this, or what I've got.
I don't ever trust Mastery.
No, I don't.
We can make a video about that.
Well, it's just because I don't have laser beams.
I don't trust the Masteries.
Even at
we'll
26, that's a lot. That's a lot. And yeah, it costs 200 million, but nobody's messing with you because you're not looking. Hyena works too, but you need more skills. Yeah, so.
Do I have a Hyena? I full stop disagree with the nobody's messing with you. I have had people scan my webbing alt fit, okay, when I'm hauling. I understand that people are going to be looking at the freighter. Yes. So here's a Hyena fit for you. I did all the math. Okay, a Hyena goes at the 22 with Tech 2s. We've got 4,600 EHP. The lock is 450. We have an afterburner. We got a sub 3 second align. We've got polycarbons. It costs 29 million. Okay, so here's a super cheap option, but it's a Tech 2 ship. And when I'm talking about this, Tech 2s are actually difficult to get into for newer players. So if I'm going to recommend the Tech 2, I also have to recommend like a faction ship. So typically the faction ships are harder to pay for, but easier to skill into, right? So if you're going to skill into a ship, skill into the Hugin, skill into the Rapier. It's better. So here's your Hyena fit. Goes out to 22. Heated. Let's just check heated. Come on. 29. Okay, sure. But again, the Hyena, 34K. And this made of paper, dude. So 200 mil juicy. Exactly. So Marquee has swayed me on many things during this video. The thing he hasn't swayed me on is fly the frigate with low EHP and a salvager. But I'm going to fly the ship with a better EHP. That's the Rapier or the Hugin. Because I think if the Gankers have watched my video, and now they're going to be looking at the webbing alts, knowing that, hey,
that freighter is getting followed around by a Hugin. If we take out the Hugin, the freighter's dead in the water.
And if it's a Curer, bring two
catalysts.
That's it. You don't need to do anything else. So there it is. So maybe because Hugins are pretty blinged out and nice target by itself. Well, the Curer is 200 million. For a little bit more, you get a Hugin and get 5x the EHP and the same functionality, better functionality. That's it. So
there's a couple of different right ways to do this depending. I mean, you could even go with a frickin' Orthrus or something like that. The Orthrus is going to be able to throw a web, 50 or some shit like that?
He's correct, but he's saying the wrong ship. He's saying Orthrus. He doesn't mean Orthrus. The Orthrus is the one that goes far warp scram. He doesn't mean the Orthrus. I know that he... I got to find the damn thing. The hell is it? He means the Ashamu, okay? The Orthrus is the one that has warp scram range. He means the Ashamu because the Ashamu has web range. The Orthrus does not do web range. The Ashamu, we have one for you here as well. Chat, when I tell you I do my research, I have all of the math here for you. The Ashamu is half a bill, okay? I don't fly the Ashamu because it's a talk about a target, okay? And even if, let's do Tech 2s, okay? Let's do Tech 2 webs. 341 million ISK. It's still 100 million ISK more than the Hugin. So the Ashamu is, again, something that takes less to skill into. It's a faction ship. It's not a Tech 2 ship. You can get into this easier, okay? Show me the skills. Yeah. It's not... Faction ships, easier to skill into, much more expensive. 341 million. Goes out to only 20K on Tech 2 webs. So you really have to, that's why I have him in here. You have to use the faction webs, 34K heated, or you can just use the Hugin. It costs less. It's, yes, harder to skill into, but it's less money. And this ship does get 24K EHP. Armor tanked. I put a scram in there because even with a stab, you still get 400M scan range. Because you can look, without this, it goes up to 680. But that's fine because we're still hitting the 400 scan res. So people will see that and go,
it reduces the scan.
I know, but we're still above 400. And quite frankly, I wanted to have something in the lows. We didn't need the more EHP. And this fit, I don't love this fit because it does, you know, it's just not great. I fly the Hugin. I fly this, right? My Ashby was around 600 mil. There it is. Blinged freighter, reasonable web. Marquee, reasonable freighter, blinged web. Yeah. And I don't, yes. But now my new methodology is reasonable freighter, reasonable web. Can you bring the Ashamu? Yes. It's more expensive and does, it's not as good full stop as the Hugin or the Rapier. Someone asked in chat, does the Rapier get webbing range? It does. We've got 34K on the Rapier. 34K and heated. You'll never have to heat this. 44. Okay. It's damn Loki. Okay. It's crazy. So he said Orthrus. He meant Ashmu. I know he just misspoke. Yeah.
It's really crazy how far it can do it. But you're just getting more expensive ships there. And
you can go to Zkill and play with the filters to see people's webbing ships getting ganked alone or alongside freighter. Anyway, there it is, Davey. There it is. So exactly.
Welcome.
The best way to bling the freighter is to pod. Yep.
And really, at 200 million, it's probably...
Davey's right.
It's probably a good, a good level there.
I'm going to order Chinese food, chat, because we're streaming all day today. I'm feeling good today.
The needing to get in range and the smaller tank are the only problems that this fit has.
Okay.
If there's a tornado or something that volleys you and alphas you off grid, all of a sudden your freighter's just sitting there, just chilling, just to wait the full duration to spool up and
they're
warp
not
out.
looking at
Gankers
this
will
ship.
know this and will target.
I agree with him on most things. He swayed me. I disagree with that. Fly a cruiser like the Rapier or the Hugin. He can, and by the way, Shan, fly whatever the hell you want. I'm not your dad. Like if you like the frigate, you like how snappy it is, you are in an area of space where you've never gotten killed in your freighter webbing alt, fine. There's no one size fits all. What I love about this is the discussion that y'all get to benefit from this. Oh, it's going to be a great video for YouTube. Say hi to YouTube.
So while this
I don't think that they're targeting those
cost
ships.
less,
And that's
it
fine.
is not the one
I disagree.
recommend.
I disagree.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Hugin. Yes, this odd-looking ship is the hero of my fleet. It is solely responsible for transporting untold billions across New Eden with safety. Let me show you how. Now, the Hugin does get a bonus to web range. This
60%
one change
bonus
means that
per
it's going to be
skill level?
strictly better than the Daredevil.
Wow.
Less micro, less have it get in range of the freighter. You can warp off sooner. A huge deal once you start.
Welcome. Thank you, Sidar.
This is raid music? This is banging.
We are currently
There's a concert going on,
looking
dude.
at Loru.
Bro, am I like in Valhalla right now? This is lit.
All right. So we are
Sick.
we're going through about
Well done.
Loru and his invincible zero align time freighter.
Start using this, let me tell
It
you.
is.
It also has 50
Oh wait, did your brain just crash when I said that? For those of you who are just here, yeah, it's because it can't be done. It can't be done.
But it can,
He's got some
Marquee.
good points here. He does.
But
he has
it
some real
can.
good points here. But he misses the mark on this. Normally, he's really good, but I couldn't help myself on
He's
this
right.
one.
He's right.
50,000 E.
And look, he's saying I like missed the mark. He's already swayed me a lot, and you're going to see my fifth in the description. I've been updated since this, and you know what I'll do is I'll go back to this video and I'll edit those fits to include my new Hugin fit that does not have a cloak, and to put the Rapier. I won't put the Rapier in there because I don't talk about it in the video, but he pinged me when he reacted to this and said, hey, I was kind of harsh in the video, but I had to be harsh a little bit. And I was like, sure, this is not harsh, Chad. He's fine. You know what I'm saying? What implants are you running for all of this? You can do the plus armor on the freighter. On this ship, I don't really have like a best implant for this. Maybe shield, but even then it's like whatever. So it balls right now. He has to react to my reaction to his reaction to my video. So, oh yeah, let's go, dude.
EHP.
I love it.
Really fit a bunch of tank in our mid slots to get this done. This is a utility ship, so the damage mods you have are extra. I have these as Tech 1. I don't think you should bling these at all. We're gonna run a single compact afterburner, just in case we need to get closer to the freighter. One pulse of this is enough to be able to get within range. And without the afterburner on, you are gonna go sub 4-second align.
I removed the afterburner because I needed the fit for a SIBO. And again, the priority is lock speed with the new, from the comments on that video, thank y'all again, is lock time, then EHP, then everything else.
This is due to our various modules in the lows and a single low friction nozzle joint in the rigs. You still want to be able to align out fast, just to minimize the chance that the gankers have time to check you out, see what you're doing. You also have way more utility on this ship to stay alive. Yes, we have the cloak in case we have to chill, but you also have a single warp.
Okay, so the cloak again, absolutely never, no, nope, nada.
He's right. He's right. It's reactions all the way down.
Cloak doubles your target time.
Yes. Not a covert ops.
100% rule. It doubles your target time.
Core stab to make sure that if someone does lock you down, you can just warp out and cloak up. Finally, you are going to be running some EC300 drones in your drone bay. This is the final nail in the coffin. It helps to unlock.
Got Chinese food coming, chat.
Messing with you between this, the warp core stab, the cloak, the fast align. I have had no problems even going through low sec with my freighters. Just be careful, y'all. Do I have to say the line again? Both of these fits, as always, are copy and paste
freighters in low sec
for you.
No. Okay.
Needed, totally.
You see his face? He just went like like no. One time, Markee, it was just not worth it. I got out. I got my crap. It was a bunch of trit, but next time I'm just gonna bring my occutor.
Free takes 2 clicks. But let's sweeten the deal, huh? In addition to the avalanche that we're gonna give away in this video, I'm also going to give away both fully fitted tugboat fits that you just saw. So if you skipped that section of the video, go on back, check out how to enter in, and don't miss out on literally multiple billions of ISK. Now, our next hauling video is going to feature jump freighters.
Okay, so it'll be very interesting to see what he says on jump freighters. There is no wrong fit on jump freighters, in my opinion.
He's right.
And so his technique, I look forward to seeing that.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing here on this is that the actual true answer on all of this, and there's multiple right answers, but my answer is the rightest. You can disagree with me. That's just fine.
Yeah.
But obelisk with reinforced bulkhead 2s.
Yeah. Freighter, fly, tech 2s. Avalanche, fly, tech 2s. With brick tank and a damage control. All these fits will be in the description for you. I'll put it in this YouTube video. This will be on YouTube for those of you that hear live. What's up? For the Hugin and the Rapier, for the webbing alts, the best ships are the Hugin or the Rapier. You can choose your kind of experience there. The Rapier's got the covert ops cloak. I think the Hugin's the best because of the EHP. If you want to use a frigate, you can use a Curer, but again, it's so expensive. I'll put the Hyena and the Curer fit we showed here as well in the description. So yeah, we'll like put those down there for you. But I just use the Hugin. That's it.
And I think that a Weber is fine. I think that the Curer that I mentioned, or a Hugin, like he mentioned, is fine. I don't think that the align time on those ships matters.
Right, Mackie.
I think that it's the lock time and the distance on the web.
Yeah.
And
okay. Let me amend what I was saying because he's actually right. The number 1 thing is lock time. The number 2 thing is the distance on the web. The number 3 thing is the EHP, and then the rest is like whatever. He is correct. I include the Daredevil in that first video because it was the cheapest option that was also a low skilling option. It was only 200 million ISK, and it was a faction frigate. And while it's not optimal, I hauled in a Daredevil for like 6 months as my like webbing ult. Well, I was going up to the Hugin. So it's which one is right for you. That comes down to the area of space you're in. Here, let's keep listening to it. We're almost done.
So it is nothing more, and so
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, it's nothing more, and I like I said, I love Loru. In fact,
thanks, Markee. I appreciate him saying that. I do.
Oh, implants will help too. Yeah, there's other implants too. Yep. And if you're paying attention, you can get away if they're blowing you up with your implants. Like anytime I've lost a freighter and I've had implants in, I've always gotten my pod away, except for maybe once.
They could smart bomb you.
They started smart bombing, which they don't typically do.
Right.
So anyway, on the way out.
Wow, great. Markee, thanks so much for that. Y'all, that is going to be just a great value to a bunch of people. So this video is going to be very long, but hey, if you want more of this, make sure you sub right here to get more stuff out of this. And Chad, we'll put the video link to Markee in the description. Definitely go check him out. Give him a thumbs up. And if you want more of these things, all of our Eve guys are right here. Thanks very much. We'll see you in the next one.